Hi, welcome to Algo Waves, guys. So today we are going to discuss one very important point on crude oil options trading because there are certain misconception about the PnL profiling for the different weeks as well as about the expenses on crude oil options trading. Uh, First, we will cover the both the things at the same time through some examples in Excel. Generally, what feedback I get from the marketplace deployers about the concern on crude oil expenses, whether it's very high or not. Okay, so we will take these examples in Excel. We will completely put the things, the numbers, and see how the profit profiling is there and how the expenses goes. So let us go to the concerned Excel. Okay, so here I think it is visible on the left side. Let us take week one. Week one is suppose for the current expiry, which is basically uh, expiry of crude of October. Crude oil futures contract expiring on 19th of October, and crude oil options contracts are expiring on 17th of October. So this is another interesting thing. Like in NSC, you will see that the expiry of monthly contract of Nifty and Bank Nifty, the indices, and the monthly expiry of the contracts of options are on the same day. That is last Thursday of the month. It is not so the case in case of MCX crude oil expiry. First of all, every commodity has got expiries on different days of the month. Like crude oil will have on 19th, NG will have on 25th, 24th, gold will have around 5th, and the two different months. Some months may not have the expiry contracts as well, in bullions especially. Metals like copper will have last day of the month as the contract, but we are confining ourselves to crude oil contracts. So the monthly contract expiry for October series is 19th October, and the options contract expiry is on 17th October. This is very interesting how they are different. You can research on internet and try to find it out how it is so and why it is so. I'll make a separate video on that as well, not today but later on. Okay. So week one started on 16th of this month, September, for the October expiry of options. So one week means one calendar week, and every week will have 5 days of trading unless there is a holiday in that particular week for the MCX. So I have put the numbers here. Like first of all, I have put the number 5 days in trading days in the week. This number. Then this is as per the strategy of Algo ways, depending upon the experience and the real trading which we have been seeing. There will be an average of 1.5 counters per day. Now, what does 1.5 means? There is nothing like 1.5 or the fractional counters, but what it means is that it may have, say, suppose yesterday on Friday it had two counters. It may have one counter someday. It may have another one counter someday. It may have two counters on the fourth day. It may have again one counter. So on an average, the number of counters is 1.4. It could vary. It is not fixed rule, but as per the experience and the market moves and the live deployments, we are likely to have 1.5 counters on an average per day in the first week. Okay. Average premiums in MCX crude oil contract is around 400. Like on Thursday, on Friday, that is on first day, we had a rate of around 430 for the premiums. It will be less going forward Monday to uh, next week, Thursday or Friday, whatever it is. And then there is a turnover for the 1x. See, 1x, what I mean is one crude oil, see call option and put option. So call option at the rate of 400 into 100 is 40,000 buy, 40,000 sell. Similarly, put option 40,000 buy, 40,000 sell. For convenience of explanation, I am assuming that our buy and sell rate are same at 400 average. So basically, it will not be 80,000. 80,000 will be the turnover for one leg, C or PE. So for the counter, the turnover will be so plus 400 into 2 buys into 2 sells into the quantity, which is 100 barrels. So 1,60,000 will be the turnover. These numbers I am putting as per the experience and from the live deployments, because per X I am putting 900 rupees, though the counter closes at 1500 rupees. But if you see the last video, I have explained the slippages. So I am considering the worst slippages and assuming that 900 will be the gross profit in a particular counter. So total gross profit on a day will be 1350 because we are having 1.5 counters on an average per day. So these two numbers are explained. Now expenses per X. So let us take an example of Finvasia, and we will see that brokerage calculator and the expenses calculator for commodities. So we click on the commodity. We assume for 400 as buy price and 400 as sell price, as I explained earlier. And quantity is 100 basically for one particular leg. But since we are doing two legs, C and PE, so we will do the quantity as 200. So turnover is 1,60,000 as explained, and these are the other charges. There is something missing. Let me take it for one lot. That is around 7 rupees and 7. So this is the break even for one side contract. So if you take 200 quantity, so this is the expenses. Basically, I have done a mistake here. I had not taken options. So if I click on options, you will see here now the expenses is around 153 rupees. So our expenses for a particular counter of 1 CE, 1 PE, assuming that we are having no adjustments. If we have the adjustments, then we will have the higher number of quantities. So let us take it with no adjustment right now. Even if we take in crude oil, generally we have one adjustment. So I will make it 300 as the quantity to be on safer side. So total expenses will be 230 rupees per counter. So let me put that number here. 230. Since we are assuming 1.5 counter a day, so we have a total expenses of 345 rupees in a day. So our net return will be 1350 minus 345, that is around 1050. 1005. Now I am still going for calculation purpose more conservative. Now we have calculated the profit till now, assuming huge slippages of 600 rupees per counter, and we have arrived at a net profit. Now even after that, I am taking a factor of 50% because all the days will not be profitable. assuming there will be some days into losses. So I am taking 50% of that net profit also as the final profit, which is 502 rupees. So what I have done here, I have applied the slippages here, heavy slippages. I have applied the profit factor here, which I have taken as 50%. And we arrived at, don't confuse this number with profit factor of backtesting. So, okay, this is in isolation. This is what I have explained here. So I am assuming 502. Generally, ideally, what it would have been? It would have been 1,500 if it was booked without slippages, and also we should have been 50% ki bajaye, it should have been 100%. So 1905. But I am taking out all the negative things, all the risks, all the expenses which could have happened, which may happen, and then calculating the expected PnL. So I am assuming instead of 1900 rupees profit per count per day, I am assuming as 502, as in the case of week 1. So we have 5 days. I am assuming that there is no holiday. So for 5 days we will have on week 1 2512 rupees. Okay, so that is week 1. And the purpose of this video is to show how the profit and the risk and the slippages will vary as we go along the weeks. So now we come back to, we go to second week. I have just blurred it, so let me just make it open. So this is week 2. Again, number of days 5. So in week 2, the number of average trades will be definitely 2. It could be 2 plus as well. Now average premium here will be around 320. You can see that as we are going along this month, you will see that the average this thing will be 320 average premium instead of 400. And average turnover will be, I have made a mistake here, so we have to multiply this by 4. 1,28,000 will be the turnover. And the gross PnL will be, now what will happen here, the slippage is slightly reduced because the volume start coming in after first week. So instead of 600 rupees slippages, I am adding 100 rupees as an advantage, as 1,000 rupees will be your, instead of booking at 1,500, it will get booked at say 1,000. Now the expenses, let us check the expenses here. Since we are assuming, we are saying that it will be 320 rupees. And again, I am considering the adjustment as well. So we are I'm taking all the worst case scenario in calculations. So our listing is 184, the expenses per counter. $184. So instead of 230, if you see in the first week, it has come down to 184, which is substantial. These numbers could look very minuscule, but they are big when we go in long run. Okay. So how much this total expenses is coming to? 1.5. Now, why the expenses coming more in gross figures vis-a-vis first week? Because we have 2 counters instead of 1.5 counters. Okay. So the net return will be the gross return minus the expenses. We take 50% of that, 816, and we multiply that by 500 rupees, 5 days basically. So we will end up with 400. And one more thing, let me clarify here. This is not something which is being shown as guaranteed profit here. I am doing this just for the calculation purpose and for the explanation purpose. Okay, but more or less, I am very near to the practical figures as well. So now move on to week 3. we only have to see. Now we will have 3 counters easily, and this is practical. This is nothing to be assumed here, and the premiums will be around 250 or 240. Average premium, I'm saying. Monday it can be different, Friday it can be something else. Turnover will be, we have to multiply it by 4 because we are doing 2 cells, 2 legs. So 96,000. Average gross PnL will be, I am not adding much here because the liquidity will improve, slippage will reduce, so 1,100. And gross PnL is again same, and the expenses will be, let me just check that. So we are taking 240, let us take 250 only, 250. It is on taking on higher side actually, it will be less on third week. And again, I'm considering the adjustment as well. So we have 143 rupees as the per expenses. So total expenses has gone up because the number of counters have gone up. And our net return will be for the day around 2871 because the number of counters are more. And I am considering 50% of that. So applying another negativity there. So we will end up in 7155, 7177. This is considering the slippages, considering the lost days, considering the adjustment in calculating the expenses. So this is how we are likely to end. We move on to week 4. Now, number of days 5, and definitely we get around 4 trades easily because the volumes are high, the premiums are low, a lot of buyers are there, which helps in increasing the writers' volume. Okay, and the average premium will be, see, when we are near the expiry, it is 100 rupees. When we start the week, it is 200 rupees. So 150 will average will be the premium. Total volume will be 60,000. We calculate the expenses. So 150, calculate. So around 86 rupees will be the expenses. Per X, I'm saying, C and PE. So now you see the expenses is still high, 344, because the number of counters is 4. And I am not increasing this from 1100, though it will be better. So I am again taking it very conservatively. We are not increasing this. So net return will be 4,000. Consider 50% of that, and for 5 days 10,100 rupees. So if we see at the end of the week, by taking into consideration all the risks of cost, all the risks of that slippage, considering the average number of counters, as we have seen practically, we are likely to end the week here like this. So 20,000, 23,000 basically, and which amounts to around 4.35% return on monthly basis on a fund which is free after 330, which is a substantial improvement in your portfolio profits. Even if after applying all the risks and everything, even if you take it some, say further, you reduce it by 30%. So this into 0.7. Still we get 3%. So this is very conservative, and it is likely to be achieved. So 3% also on a monthly basis without putting any additional margin is good enough. So I hope in this video I have tried to explain how the profit changes per week, how the slippage changes per week, how the expenses keep on changing every week because the number of counters are changing, and try to explain how much we can expect and what are the expenses. I hope this makes clear the things about the expenses and why the profit is different in different weeks of the month. So the purpose of this is another one is that When we see in the first week that the profit is less than 1000 rupees a day, we should not get discouraged. We should not, some people may think that, okay, we will pause for the first week. No, I don't advise that. If we are doing algo, we should do it throughout the month without any manual application of mind in terms of posting or removing or something like that. We should allow it to take whatever manual things have to be taken, which I have explained in the last video, in order to reduce the slippages. So that's it. If there is something further to be clarified, you can get in touch with me on WhatsApp or in Telegram DM or Telegram group. I'll be happy to explain whatever I know about the numbers and the figures which we have discussed here. So, guys, if you like the content of the particular video, please subscribe the video and press the bell icon so that you will get the intimation for the next videos which are informative. If you find so, and like the video as well, so this encourages us to do more good content for the retail traders. Also, share the video within your circle, within your friends, family, whom you feel it can be useful for, and they can make use of it. Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot for watching this video.